R&B Divas Season 3, Episode 4. R&B Divas Atlanta. Alright, so I didn't take any notes this time. Just started watching it. So we're gonna go off the top of the dome. So they first start off, they go back to the part where Kiki and the girls are all having a meeting, and Angie has her daughter Diamond come in, and Angie and Diamond are falling off topic when all the girls are trying to have their little meeting about the showcase that they're gonna have. So Angie's, I'm sorry, not Angie. So when Kiki, decides that she gets frustrated that she cannot finish her statement without, she's asking, what about the lawyer? What are we gonna do about this? Just trying to get the legalities together. Did I say that right? I'm tripping, y'all. But anyways, so then she gets up, and we think that she's gonna walk off, but she actually just goes, plays the drums, and all the girls go over there and they start dancing, they vibing, they're enjoying their stuff, and they're in a happy mood, they're in a good mood. It's almost like when what was that, last season when Monifa had a showcase? I think that was last season. It might have been the first. When Monifa had a showcase and Kiki started, getting on the drums and they all start singing. That's how it was again. But it was just a very fun vibe. And I actually liked it, seeing that together. It really shows their talents. So moving on. They go on to Monifa, and Monifa is happy like a child on Christmas to open up her presents. She's going to get her liposuction, and she's really excited, and she's asking Therese, you worried? And then she's realized, well, I should be one worried, but I'm just all happy right now. But when she gets in that table and they start prepping her, it starts to kick in that she's about to go through surgery. And then she starts to get a little nervous. So then when they're, doing the surgery or whatever, Therese is watching, but she does not like to, see Monifa in pain, or she doesn't like to see blood. So it's actually hurting her to watch it, because Monifa said before on the second episode that, she's not scared, the second or the first episode, that she can take pain. But on this, she's saying, wait, like, it's like, they ain't gonna wait too much. They gotta finish. They already stuck it in you. And they sucking the fat out. They turning around. You can hear her doing all this moaning. And it's like, I thought you supposed to be asleep during this kind of surgery. Guess your insurance didn't pay for that, huh? Ugh. But, I guess if you that dedicated to getting that fat sucked out of you, instead of just working out, I guess you get what you asked for, huh? Alright, so let's move on. So, Mila and Latavia. Mila talks to Latavia. Now, they're real cool. They're close or whatever. And Mila says, Tasha Smith has an acting studio, and I think it would be a good idea for us to go to the acting studio so we can face our fears and, how do I say it? We can do well at this performance. Basically, we won't have stage fright, and it'll be better for us, and we'll be more comfortable. And so Latavia, figures that's a good idea, since she is very shy, especially when it comes to singing. She is like a little girl, she doesn't want to sing. It's like she's been put on blast. Anytime anyone asks her to sing, she gets really nervous. So Mila and Latavia go to the, Tasha Smith's acting studio, and they're there with this acting coach, and her name is Rotunda Underwood. And I'm starting to think maybe she related to me, cause I got some Underwoods related to me, like Blair Underwood. If she relates to Blair, then she related to me. But anyways, they she tells them that we're going to do an exercise called taking a dump. So any like frustrations or whatever, that's up in us, we're going to just, basically shit it out of us. So let's start with Mila. And Mila immediately, opens up, and she started talking about how she was a little girl. She was talking to herself basically and saying that, how she felt ugly, and, how especially, the whole thing with being dark skinned. And to me, Mila isn't ugly. But, yeah, how, her friends would make fun of her. They would call her Tar Baby and just say all kind of mean things to her, which most kids do, which is actually horrible. But, it's nothing new. And she's just crying, and she's like, but now I know that I'm pretty, and not just because my mother says that I'm pretty. I know that I'm pretty, and if these people were my friends, then why do they say these things about me? So then, Latavia figures, well, wow, if Mila can open up about this then and do this exercise, then I know I can do it. So then Latavia starts talking to herself when she was a little girl, and she starts saying, it's not your fault that you were molested. And she says that she was molested from age 7 up until 9 when she finally told someone, I guess her mother, and then 5 years later, her mother didn't believe her, so up until 5 years later, she was still being molested. So I guess from ages 7 to 14, she was being molested. And, that means while she was in Destiny's Child, she was being molested. And it's a horrible thing. And she starts talking to herself, it's not your fault, that you would do, that this person would do this, they're going to get theirs. And she's absolutely right. That is nothing that she should blame herself for, especially that since she told, her mother or whatever, and they still didn't protect her from it. They just thought she was lying. And it's like, when you hear somebody say that they're molested, especially a child, you need to start taking that very seriously. That's nothing to play about at all. So, and then she figures, Rotunda, the coach, the acting coach, Rotunda says, you need to start taking back your power. And she says, do you know how you're going to take back your power? And so then Latavia is like, well, she thinks to herself, and she's like, okay, well, I know what I have to do, and I have to have a talk with my mother about it. So then she goes on, and she's at her apartment later on, and she's, I guess, packing, getting ready to move, and it's her mother, and her little newborn daughter. And she started talking to her mother about, the acting exercise, and about how it brought up old emotions about her being molested, and about her mother basically not protecting her, not believing her, because, she thought that her mother said, I thought you were trying to manipulate me. I thought you were lying. It's like, come on. You never choose a man over your child. And if your child says that person is molesting you, molesting them, then you need to believe them. You need to definitely take a serious look at what's going on, and you need to try to handle the situation seriously, and not just say, oh, just a kid, they're just lying. And, yeah, I guess she tells her, I don't blame you for it happening, but the mother's like, but you blame me for not, doing anything about it. And she's like, yeah. So I'm glad that she's starting to work on herself, and, it's never good to hold those kind of things inside. So let me go on. Let's see what else happened. Okay, Mila from 702. She has she meets with this choreographer, and she's working on her moves for the showcase. And the choreographer asks her, she says she has some kind of event for, I guess, a toy drive, and she asked Mila to perform. So Mila goes with Corey, and they're up there trying to, get the mic and stuff ready, and the sound was horrible. And then, Mila, she performs or whatever, and she actually did good for, that's been in those kind of circumstances where you can barely hear her. She still performed. She still did good though. But she a little diva. She getting there though. But the girls are all there and stuff for Angie, and they all standing up and they cheering her on. They singing, and this was mostly a positive episode. Oh, let's go back to Kiki. Kiki and her mother. Kiki tells her mother, you have a problem with, you have a serious anger problem, and that you need to go to counseling and talk to somebody about it. And not the person in the grocery line, because they really don't give a damn. And Kiki's giving her mother all this advice about how she needs to work on herself, and it's like, Kiki, you're right. Your mother does need to work on herself, but you also need to work on yourself. Because that is the reason why you are like you are today, because of your mother. That might not be the whole reason, but you've been through a lot yourself with, your ex-husband, and he used to beat you all the time, and you end up stabbing him. So you need to work on yourself. You got trust issues. You're very emotional. I am too. I can't even blame her on that, but she definitely needs to go work on herself too, while she's giving her mother all of that advice. And she figures, my mother can get help from this, I put the money out and pay for it. So it's like, okay, well, you need to work on yourself also. Maybe she went with her mother, but she wasn't really talking about herself. She needs to get some one-on-one counseling for Kiki also. So what else goes on? Okay, Angie sets up a song that she was supposed to have her nephew or whatever is the producer, and she invites her daughter to sing on the hook, and that's about it, but it wasn't really a drama-filled episode. It was more of a positive episode, which is actually a good thing. So, that's it for R&B Divas Atlanta, Season 3, Episode 4. And I will be back. Like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff. And I will be back for another video. Peace, y'all.